My two favorite things are playing Minecraft and reading about the insane drama that strangers post on the internet. So let's do both at the same time. I found a couple Reddit stories about relationship drama, so let's read these while I get some chores done in my Minecraft world. I gotta build a small automatic sugarcane farm that I desperately need, so let's get that done and judge some strangers. Okay, all right. We've got a bit of a lighthearted one. A lighthearted relationship issue here. I skimmed over this one. I think it seems pretty good. We'll see how it goes. Uh, am I wrong if I ask my girlfriend why she only gets the largest things at restaurants and doesn't finish them? So I've been dating Cass for about 4 months now. I feel like we've gotten into a very good rhythm of things, and I've enjoyed every date with her. The only thing I question is whenever we go out to dinner at a restaurant, no matter where we are, Cass will always just buy the biggest plate, like a platter, but throughout the dinner, we'll just poke at her meal while we talk. By the time the check is cleared, the majority of the plate is still there and Cass just takes it home. The issue isn't money. Even if Cass gets something expensive, I will just minimize my meal to stay within budget. The issue is that I'm starting to feel a certain way about having dinner with Cass just for her to barely eat anything but take the rest home. Why ask for so much food if she knows she won't finish? Is there an issue at home where she needs to take extra food? Is she not actually hungry and just agreeing to have dinner for something else? As a boyfriend, I'm comfortable with giving a helping hand when she needs it, but I'm not sure if I'm overthinking or maybe crossing a boundary we haven't reached yet. Is this something where I should just be upfront and ask her about it? Oh. I definitely I get this. I get feeling this way. Like if you're paying for someone to if you're paying for someone's dinner, I understand, I can be in that headspace sometimes where I'm like, why aren't you eating the food that I bought? But I think you have to be a little open-minded. I don't know. You don't it's fine. If she wants to order food and take it home, that's okay. I guess if you're super constrained with money, I understand you don't want someone ordering a really expensive dish and then not eating it. I get it. And maybe that is worth having a conversation about. I don't think it's that big a deal to bring up. It doesn't need to be a huge conversation. So I do get it. I guess for me personally, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if someone's just taking the food home that they don't finish. If she's ordering three things off the menu and then taking two home, that's a problem. Yeah, I would bring that up, but it just doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. It's just kind of one of those funny early relationship type things that just kind of bugs you a little bit, and maybe you need to get over. But if you want to have a conversation about it, that's fine. There's an update. There's an update to this one, and I'm very excited to read it because I want to see where this goes. I want to see if he confronted her about this conundrum. I wonder if she started eating more. Let's read it here. Okay, all right. Here's the update. Hey everyone, so I posted on here a few weeks ago about my then girlfriend Cass. Then girlfriend, oh no. So as a mini update to that dilemma, she was having food issues at home. I offered to help and she accepted. However, it doesn't really matter. She ghosted me 2 weeks later. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't hurt, but for the most part, I've moved on. We had a short-lived romance, and for what it was worth, I liked it. And I'm not going to ask why she would do something like that. Oh no. Poor guy. The main issue I'm having is about the gift I got her for her birthday. Cass has always wanted to go to the Met Opera, but couldn't because tickets were too expensive for her. Since we had been dating for 2 months by that point, I was feeling pretty good about things. I liked Cass and I expected our relationship to at least last past her birthday. I bought her a ticket. I bought only one for her since it would be a day on which I had to work. I added it to her email, so she also got the QR code for the ticket, and she was grateful at the time, but never mentioned it again, so honestly, I forgot. As I was removing her from my socials, I noticed that she had posted on her story on Facebook about her early birthday present. How she was so excited to go and couldn't believe it was happening. I rarely go on Facebook, so I never noticed it when she'd posted. Then I saw the price for the ticket was still there, $224. Not gonna lie, I got a bit salty about that kind of money going to someone who just vanished. I checked the website, and of course there are no refunds. The only option they had was to exchange it for another show. The opera isn't something that interests me, and I don't know anyone else who would want to go, but part of me is tempted to just exchange the ticket to something else out of spite. It feels really mean to just pull out the rug from under Cass, especially when it's something she's always wanted to see. Maybe it's because there are still some feelings there, or maybe it's because it's genuinely something awful to do. He's talking about feeling awful about exchanging the ticket for something else so that she can't then go to the thing that she's really wanting to go see. Honestly, I think you should be petty. Be petty, man. She ghosted you. Exchange that ticket. That's my take. Why not? I don't see anything wrong with that. She's gonna ghost you. Exchange the ticket. Would you be in the wrong for doing that? Absolutely. But you know what? She's eating all your food. She's ordering big plates. And then she just ghosts you out of nowhere. Take away her birthday present. Just do it. I love the pettiness. Or, just continue being a good person and accept that she vanished from your life and you're never going to see her again. And that you did something nice for someone that you had a brief romance with. That's pretty rough, though. Like, are people out here doing this? Are people out here, like, seeing each other for months and months and then just completely, like, cutting ties and ghosting? Like, not a word to be said to the other person? That's kind of crazy. The dating culture has gotten kind of wild. If you've been seeing each other for months and there's at least, like, clearly, like, some sort of connection there, he's ordering you food and you're taking it home. I think I'm on this guy's side for this one, and I wish him the best. Let's move on to the next situation here. Okay, I think I found another doozy here. It's entitled, "My boyfriend opened our relationship. Now that I finally found someone, he wants to close it." Oof. All right. Here we go. I come from a small town where everyone knows each other. I was raised in a very strict Catholic household. I had a pretty sheltered life growing up, no dating, no parties, none of that stuff. So when I moved to the city for college, it was a whole new world for me and I had total freedom. That's when I met my boyfriend. He's a little older and honestly, the most amazing person I've ever met. He taught me so much about life and made everything feel exciting. I was completely over the moon when we became a couple. We've been together for 3.5 years now. I've had so many firsts with him. Naturally, I assumed we would get married, and he was my one and only. Then about 8 months ago, he sat me down and told me that he felt like our relationship was losing its spark. I was shocked because I thought we were doing really well. For a second, I thought he was about to break up with me, but instead he said we should open the relationship and explore polyamory. He said it's more normal now, and that it could actually help bring us closer together. I was hurt, like really hurt. I couldn't believe he'd even ask me that, but I loved him too much. He's my first love. I didn't want to lose him, so I said yes. He made some rules, but honestly, I didn't care about the rules. I couldn't imagine being with someone else. I only wanted him. But for the first month, things did not get better. I saw him less and less. He was always busy. I checked his social media and saw that he started hanging out with some girl. She posted him all the time, and I was burning with jealousy. But I couldn't say anything. When I did see him, he was sweet like always, but it started to feel like he was just trying to make up for not being around. I felt like I was the one doing all the work planning stuff, texting first, and chasing after him, holding on so tight while he felt far away. Oh, this is rough. Then, a few months ago, we were supposed to see a movie together, but he bailed on me last minute, but I went anyway. While I was there, I ran into one of my friends, and she was with her older brother. We ended up watching the film together, and afterward we grabbed some drinks, and I started noticing how attractive and funny the older brother was. I caught him looking at me a certain way too, and like maybe he felt something. I didn't pursue anything, though this was all so new to me. Liking someone else? That felt weird. I wasn't used to anyone but my boyfriend. He eventually found me on Instagram and we started talking. I told him about the open relationship and being poly, and he was super chill about it. He said he was happy to spend time with me without worrying about cheating. We started hanging out more, and honestly, I didn't feel so alone anymore. I didn't feel like I had to beg someone for love. Even the little time I spent with my boyfriend started to feel like enough, because my heart didn't feel so empty anymore. One day after we'd become close friends, he just kissed me on the lips. Oh! And it hit me that I had feelings for him. We ended up hooking up not long after. It was amazing. I felt cherished. He was whatever, blah, blah, blah. We even joined a gym together and started working out. He's a busy guy, but he always made time for me and always invited me into his world and his hobbies. I felt special and giddy. Then this week, my boyfriend comes to me and says, I think we should close the relationship and focus on each other. I was confused. I asked him, why? Things are really good for us. He said it's time to think about the future and building something serious. Then he brought up religion. You're Catholic. You get it. If you want this to last, it should just be the two of us. When I hesitated, he started guilt-tripping me, like I was doing something wrong. Like I wasn't thinking about us. I love him, I really do, but now I'm confused. I feel upset. I didn't ask for any of this. He opened the door, and I just followed because I loved him. And now that I found a little peace, a little joy, he wants to shut it all down. It feels unfair. Just wanted to get this off my chest. Yeesh. It sounds like your boyfriend's a little bit jealous that you found somebody of your own. This is why, I mean, okay, if polyamory is like your vibe, that's great. That's awesome. It's not my vibe. But I don't think that it should be like, I don't think like opening up the relationship is going to save a relationship if you don't feel the spark anymore. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't see it as, that feels like you're putting a band-aid on a larger problem. And I mean, like, things were great for this guy when he had found another person. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? Like, as soon as your girlfriend finds someone of her own, you have to be okay with that. That's what polyamory is. You need to be all right with it going both ways. And I think he was just being a bit greedy and taking advantage of his girlfriend, frankly. I mean, this much is obvious, right? But there's actually an update here for the rest of the story. So we'll read that and then make a we'll make a final judgment at the end. Okay, so apparently this update is 5 days after that initial post that we just read. So let's hear how the discussions have progressed about this relationship. I can't believe people just like give you a peek into their lives on the internet. Like this is just so great. This story is just here to read for everyone. This is awesome. And I get to steal it for content. This is great. I spoke to my boyfriend and told him that I don't want to close the open relationship. I've grown to really enjoy dating the other guy, and it's not something that I just agreed to do to experiment. I told him it should be a joint decision and you can't just open and close a relationship as you please. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially when someone else's feelings are involved. I also told him I was incredibly disappointed he brought up my faith, knowing how much trauma and guilt I've carried up from my religious upbringing and how manipulative and unfair that was. He didn't respond to my comments about religion, but instead said, if you want a future with me, this needs to end or we're done. And I told him, then it's done. Oof. He got heated and said I was throwing away nearly 4 years of our relationship for a guy I've only been seeing for a few months, and tried to make me feel guilty. But then I reminded him that he was the one who lost the spark and who wanted to sleep with other women and who opened the relationship in the first place. It wasn't me. I just agreed because I loved him and I hoped he would realize that I'm the only one for him. I didn't ask for this. After some time, he calmed down and we had a long, emotional conversation. He cried and apologized. He told me he should have ended things instead of trying to fix our relationship with polyamory. That's what I said. He admitted he still loves me, and seeing me happy with someone else made him feel jealous, even though he knew he had no right to be. He said he probably deserves the pain and respects my decision to end it. We hugged and agreed that though our relationship is over, our first 2 years were beautiful. We'll always have a place in each other's hearts, even though our relationship has run its course. And then she goes on to explain how she's gotten into a relationship with the other guy. And it's a happy ending. Apparently, the other guy wanted to be in a relationship with her, but was too afraid to broach the subject because of the polyamory and her other boyfriend. This is great. What a lovely ending. Get rid of the jealous guy that wants to open your relationship. That's what I say. No, I mean, like, honestly, like, this is, like, you could see this coming, right? The relationship wasn't working months ago. You can't just open up a relationship that you don't feel a spark in. Like, you're going to start feeling a spark with other people, and that doesn't, like, re-spark your own relationship. I don't think so. I guess I haven't done polyamory. That just doesn't, like, that math doesn't work in my head. It feels like if you're no longer feeling that spark, going after other people is not the answer. And then when your person starts dating other people, you're just going to feel jealous, like this guy. I don't want to hate too hard on polyamory, though. Like, I know that it works for a lot of people. And if it's worked for you, let me know. I'd love to hear your story, but it needs to be like a decision between both parties to open the relationship. You can't have one person that's really not feeling it, like in this situation. Like, the poster was not about polyamory and really just wanted to stay with their person. Like, the decision has to be very much made between both parties, and they both have to be okay with it. If you have one person that's kind of hedging a little bit, then it's just not going to work. But I mean, who knows? I don't know anything. Let me know your thoughts on this. Check out the progress on the farm here. It's looking good so far. Got the 2 layers done, and I think I just want to add one more. I don't want to go too crazy. This is just like a small farm to run in the background all the time for whenever I need sugarcane and whatnot. Okay, this last one is a little bit heavier, and I'm a little less qualified to weigh in on, but let's read it anyways. Am I the asshole for wanting to divorce my husband after he left our newborn and toddler with our teenage daughter while he went out with another woman? Okay, here's what it says. I feel like I need some outside perspective on a really tough situation. My husband and I have been married for 19 years, and we have 3 kids together. A 13-year-old daughter, a 2-year-old, and a newborn. Our journey to parenthood wasn't easy. We faced a lot of fertility struggles, and my husband has been my rock through it all. That's why this situation has hit me so hard. Recently, I started thinking about divorce after I realized my husband had left our young children at home alone while he went out on what appears to be a date with another woman. It's been difficult for me to process everything, and I'm still unsure if I'm overreacting. His parents seem to think it was just a mild mistake, but I honestly find that hard to swallow. A couple of days ago, I decided to take a much-needed me day. I told my husband how I felt, and he agreed I could go out for a bit. I went out with my mom and sister for lunch, a mini shopping spree, and we even got our nails done. It was so lovely to have some time to unwind. I left the house around 1 p.m., planning to be back at 6 p.m. My husband was supposed to be at home with the kids since we didn't have anyone to babysit on short notice. While I was out, I received notifications from our Ring camera. Around 5:50 p.m., I saw something was happening at the front door. I called my husband, who assured me everything was fine and that he was just picking up pizza. I thought nothing of it, knowing he was with the kids. Fast forward to 6 p.m., when I got another notification that he was back home. Due to the long wait at the nail salon and bad traffic, I didn't arrive home until 8 p.m. When I got inside, I immediately noticed something was off. My husband's car was gone. I walked into the house to find my toddler playing with spit, and my newborn was crying uncontrollably. My teenage daughter was in tears because she couldn't calm down the baby. Oof. I quickly took the baby, changed her, fed her, and got her into bed, checking in with my daughter to see what had happened. She told me she didn't know where her dad was, but that he had told her to watch the kids because he had something important to do. I comforted her and reassured her that it was a big task for her to handle alone. I felt awful she had been put in that situation. My husband finally came home around 10 p.m., looking somewhat drunk. When I asked where he had been, he casually claimed that he was with his wife and having a good time. It felt like a slap in the face. He took off his pants and acted as if everything was normal, completely dismissing what had just happened. The next day, when I confronted him about his absence, he lied and said he fell asleep at 7:35. I was furious, called him out for being dishonest, insisting I knew he had been with another woman. I reached out to my mother-in-law and my own mom for advice, trying to gain some perspective. My mother-in-law minimized it, saying it was a common mistake for men. and that I needed to move on for the kids' sake. You know, they need their father at home. I've been doing a lot of soul searching since that day. Part of me wants to fight for our marriage, to believe we can work through this rough patch. However, another part of me is devastated and feels that I deserve better. I think about filing for divorce, seeking child support, and pursuing custody of the kids so that I can provide them a stable environment. So here I am, wondering if I'm being the asshole for even considering divorce. Am I overreacting? No. Should I be more forgiving because of our history? Or am I justified in wanting to leave this relationship for the happiness and safety of myself and children? Oh boy. I'm always worried that like these Reddit stories are fake and that, you know, someone's just like writing these for clicks, because a lot of them are. This one seems kind of real. I don't know. If it's not real, it happens to a lot of people, so I don't know. My immediate thoughts are that, oh my God, she needs to divorce this guy. There's no like smoking gun proof that she has that he was with another woman, which, you know, I guess is something, but he's clearly lying about his whereabouts, and you can't be having that in a marriage. That's just untrustworthiness. He's clearly showing that he is untrustworthy. So, I mean, like, she's obviously not in the wrong here. I think she needs to figure out, she needs a little more evidence, I think, to go off of, maybe before it's like a full-blown divorce. I don't know, like, he left the house and irresponsibly left the children. Like, he said he was going to take care of them, and then didn't notify her that he was going to be, like, he didn't send a text saying that he was going to leave the kids with their 13-year-old daughter. Like, that's incredibly irresponsible parenting. What are you doing, dude? You're also cheating on your wife. You're just a terrible guy. Oh my God. Wait, hang on. Wait, there's an update. Okay, we have an update. So this is 2 weeks later. A lot has gone down, and I appreciate the advice. For those who think it was fake, that's just your opinion. Okay, well, that's what I was talking about. My husband and I went back and forth for a couple more days after my last post. I finally got him to watch the video, and it proved that he was the one lying while saying I was lying. He kept watching it and coming up with excuse after excuse. I told him that if our marriage fell apart, it would be because of his behavior that night. I asked him a few things. 1, why did he leave our daughter with the babies? Great question. 2, what was he doing? Another fantastic question. 3, who was this so-called second wife? Yeah, I had that question too. All he could say was that I was being too dramatic and that I was not trusting him too much. I shot back. You broke my trust when you left the babies alone with our kid. I told him that he had one chance to come clean and that if he didn't, we'd have to talk about divorce, child support, and all that. Still, he stood firm, saying, I didn't do anything. I was so frustrated. I asked him why he couldn't just be honest. His answer? Why do you think I was cheating? That's not trusting me. Well, you're not giving her a straight answer, dude. I reminded him that he had admitted to being with his wife, his second wife, right in front of me. He said, I was drunk. I replied that he shouldn't have gone out and gotten drunk without a way of getting home safely while our kids were at home without an adult. He apologized, but that didn't change what he did. I told him his actions messed up our daughter's trust in him, hurt our marriage, and affected our parenting. He just kept pushing his own narrative about that night. On April 17th, he told me that I was overreacting and that we should keep it together for the kids. I reminded him that he lied to me, called me a liar, put our kids in danger, and wrecked our marriage. Then he snapped and got mad, claiming there was a reason for everything, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Okay. 2 days later, on April 19th, he came clean and admitted that he's seeing another woman. There it is. He came clean and admitted he's been seeing another woman, calling her his second wife. He told me that if I couldn't accept it, then it didn't matter to save a marriage that was already falling apart, with only me trying to hold it together. I shot back that since he was the one ruining our marriage and wrecking our lives with this nonsense, then fine, let it be. I told him he'd be the reason our kids wouldn't have a dad in the house because of his selfish, ignorant, and irresponsible behavior. He lied to our daughter about her phone, put our kids in a tough spot, lied to me, messed up our marriage, and then made me look like the one who's dishonest. Yeah, I mean, so we all kind of knew. We all knew that he was cheating. So, I mean, like, I guess we were just waiting for the smoking gun, which is him telling her that he cheated. So, congrats to this person for sticking to their guns. I mean, to stand firm through all of that is just fantastic. I commend this person, this poster, for doing that. This is just a wild ride. These people just be out here cheating and getting caught on Ring cameras. Like, I feel like Ring has single-handedly cornered the market in catching spousal infidelity. Like this. You can't get away with it. You're gonna get caught. Good on this this poster. That's all the stories I have for now. If you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. It makes me feel like I have self-worth when I see the number go up. But thank you again for watching, and goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye now.